Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. With the Season 2 Reloaded update, of course, we got all the content updates and gameplay changes that came with the patch right away, but something that happens with a lot of the major title updates that we see in Call of Duty nowadays is new files for future content are added to the game, sort of behind the scenes. And then data miners go in and they figure out what new files have been added in, and that stuff ultimately leaks. This is how we find out about new operators early, new weapons early, and all sorts of stuff like that. And today, thanks to the Season 2 Reloaded update, we've got even more gameplay leaks to break down regarding some future Warzone 2 updates, and then also some intel on some other collaborations and crossovers happening within the Call of Duty universe, if you will. So starting first here, this is a bit of a small one that just basically adds on to a confirmation that we already have, and that is the Plunder update coming to Warzone 2 here in the relatively near future. We know for a fact, thanks to the Call of Duty preview, reveal, and announcement, that in Season 3's time frame, we're going to see Plunder return as a mode here in Warzone 2, something that players have been asking for quite some time now. It was one of the main iconic modes back from Warzone 1, obviously a core component of the game. So far in Warzone 2, it's been MIA, but we don't really know for sure if Plunder is going to be coming at the launch of Season 3, if it's going to be coming during a random weekly update, maybe Season 3 Reloaded. Those exact details have yet to be clarified. However, with the Season 2 Reloaded update, there were actually some new game files found regarding the Plunder audio files. So this would indicate that more than likely it's going to be coming sooner rather than later. So just a quick little update in terms of the Plunder stuff, if you're interested in that. If I had to guess, it seems more than likely this would be coming at the launch of Season 3 rather than later on. But again, we'll get some more official details on that here in the near future. We should start to see some of the Season 3 promos start here in the next couple of days and weeks. So once that stuff starts to surface, I'll be sure to have you guys covered with that. Stick it here for that, alongside everything else going on in COD, the latest news, updates, all stuff like that. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. Moving on here, we get some very interesting information regarding some future DMZ updates that also may have some implications on Warzone 2 gameplay as well. This is coming from COD Sploits and Task Force leakers over on Twitter/Telegram, I guess. And basically with the Season 2 Reloaded update, we got even more game files that hint at some upcoming changes for DMZ gameplay and some new additional updates that we can expect for factions and how you approach certain things here. So these are some future DMZ content updates coming. Apparently, there are going to be some kind of barter contracts added in that allow you to build reputation with each given faction. So you'd have a Legion bartering contract that would want you to go through and complete various missions simply to gain reputation with Legion, and that would grant you access to potentially certain exclusive things down the road. Same deal with all the other factions as well. So it'd be faction specific stuff that would have a longer end goal, if you will, throughout seasons, rather than just these specific challenges that we have that reset here and there, with certain seasonal updates. Now, of course, that means that in and of itself, we're going to see a faction reputation system added in. And according to these leaks, that's going to be sort of partnered with a faction trust system as well. So maybe it's something where you have to either choose if you're going to do a mission in a moral way or maybe an immoral way of some kind. And that builds up a trust system where you are granted easier missions or maybe more difficult missions, or you have to do more steps to maybe gain trust in the future. There's various ways they could approach this. And of course, part of this is just me speculating on how the systems would work, but an actual reputation system and a trust system, I believe, is stuff that we had rumored a while back. I think there was a way long ago some leaks regarding the campaign for MW2 saying that there were going to be a trust system, factor in play in certain missions, where you could build that throughout the storyline with your character. It seems like maybe there was some truth to those rumors. Instead, it was just shifted over into DMZ rather than the campaign. So it would certainly make sense with what we're seeing now. Now, to stack on top of all of this, there's also apparently going to be various faction buy stations hidden across the map, similar to how we have the buy stations spread out now, but these ones would obviously be faction specific, and these would apparently reward you with various things based on your reputation with that faction. So you could potentially gain access to buying some high tier loot, maybe some high tier contraband if you had a good reputation with that faction, whereas if you had a low reputation or low trust with that faction, you would have very basic stuff, or maybe you wouldn't even be able to access that buy station at all. So this would completely change the dynamic of a lot of DMZ gameplay here, and if this was ever to be introduced into Warzone 2 with, you know, specific buy stations, that could be something that impacts that later on down the road as well. We also are going to apparently see faction sites with faction ground soldiers, which will be hostile and friendly based on your reputation and your actions in game as well. So again, this would be like almost safe zones, if you will, within DMZ, that if you have a good reputation with Legion, you could go towards that Legion area and you'd know that those AI are going to be friendly. Those won't shoot you. But if you have a bad reputation or low trust with Legion, you could roll up on there and those bots might be attacking you. I'd also be really curious to know if this would work like within a squad. Say I was partied up with a buddy and I had good reputation with Legion and good trust with Legion, and my buddy had bad trust and bad reputation. Could I roll in there and the bots would all be cool with me, but if he rolled in next to me, they'd just shoot at him? Because honestly, that could be pretty funny to see. But certainly some very interesting gameplay updates for DMZ in specific. Also keep in mind that a while back, I believe it was Tom Henderson who reported on it, they are apparently trying to trademark and work on a long-lasting DMZ type mode where it is like almost never ending. It's constantly a live environment that would change over time. You could spawn into a game that's already in progress and, you know, build up your reputation, build up your trust, and then log out, obviously, when it was time to go away and you had to do other stuff, and you could come back later, pick up right where you left off in the same match, in the same world. Could be really interesting to see how all that ties in together there. Then moving on, this last bit of intel comes from Medina's HD over on Twitter. As you guys, I'm sure most of you know, we do have the Warzone mobile universe going on right now as well. That's sort of tied in with COD Mobile, but things are a bit different there. It's obviously played on Verdansk, and it's got its own kind of canon stuff, if you will, but there are actually going to be more ties between Warzone 2, MW2, and Warzone Mobile here in the future, including one of the coolest rewards I think we've had in quite some time. You can apparently end up getting this brand new ghost skin here in the near future just simply by registering for Warzone Mobile. Now, the sort of asterisk here is that you have to be able to actually register for Warzone Mobile based on your location. It's not something that is available worldwide yet. They have slowly been rolling it out to new regions. So more than likely, once it's fully available for everyone and you'll be able to register for it rather, regardless of where you're located, that's when this will become a full-on integration into MW2 and Warzone 2. But it is going to be really cool to see now that moving forward, we could potentially have things mixed between Warzone Mobile and Modern Warfare 2 and DMZ and Warzone 2 and even future games as well. The next Black Ops title and whatnot will all be tethered to this same sort of universe once it's all fully set in place and widely available. So we have to keep our eyes out for any potential crossover updates coming there in the future. And again, if that stuff surfaces as we get new intel on anything that we've covered here today, you guys already know I'm gonna have you covered with the latest news in a video right as it drops. So stay tuned for that alongside all the other things going on in COD. Feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. It would be really appreciated. But that is effectively going to wrap things up for this one. Once more, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.